All right, as y'all heard when we were talking to Corey LaJoy, my right shoulder will never be the same. It is ruined, it is destroyed. I try to do bench press, and it sounds like I stepped on a broken glass. He's why. Walk him through it.
I'm why your shoulder hurts, but there's a step in between. It's not like I went out and I drop kicked you.
Yeah, that's right.
We were at an amazing Corey LaJoy's kickball tournament. Marty and myself were on separate teams, and I happened to hit just the best line drive of my life, right up the third base line. And Marty made the most amazing grab I've ever seen in my life. I was impressed, and I was upset that I got out, but the most stretched out diving catch of a kickball, not a baseball with a glove, that takes more skill of grabbing that kickball. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I hate you got hurt from it.
I would give anything,
it was awesome.
If I could just let it go. Like if I could go back and just be like, damn, Blaney, you smoked that one. Good job.
No one remembers that. Everyone remembers your dive.
You know? I don't know how it didn't make Sports Center top 10. I sent it to my bosses, like, put this thing on. What are we doing?
I really wish you would have.
I really wish that would have been good for all of us.
It's been great. Great coverage.
Great coverage for the Corey LaJoy Invitational. What should we expect out here?
That's a great question. I mean, we had a little taste of it last night in the duels, and it's so hard to kind of judge because it's half the cars as the 500, and that green flag pit cycle kind of just split everybody up. So you didn't really have a ton of pack racing like we'll have on Sunday. So I don't know what to expect. It's going to be pretty hot, slick on Sunday, and these cars are kind of a handful to drive already. Then you get 40 of us out there, and it's even tougher to drive. So be a lot of patience, a lot of kind of manhandling the race car of trying to keep it under you, but it'll be a good race, I'll tell you that.
I can remember when you were making the transition and making your way through the lower tier series before you really got entrenched with Wood Brothers, right?
Yep.
And I can remember having conversations with you about the frustration of, I know that I can do this. I just need somebody to believe enough in me to do this.
Yeah.
How do you feel now? You're a winner. You're up front everywhere we go.
Yeah.
So when you think back about that time, what would this guy say to that guy?
Yeah, I mean, you look back at the times before you get your big break, right? And you learn to appreciate where you're at, because you don't know if you're going to get your big break or a shot with a great team. Back then, I'd say 10 years ago, you don't know, so you try your hardest to just focus on yourself and do the best that you can. And if I could talk to my, 10-year-old younger me from 10 years ago, I'd just say be patient, and just work hard and not worry about, keep you up at night if you're going to make it or get a shot with an amazing race team like I've been able to get. So just patience is the big thing. It's easy to say now.
That's what I was about to say.
And when you're that young, it's hard to put that in your head, but and just keep working hard, man. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
There's beauty in the struggle.
Yeah.
Because of perspective. Like you're with one of the premier teams at the highest level. You're a winner. You're a competitor. You compete for wins all the time. But that struggle is such great perspective on the blessing of having this.
It is. It is. And honestly, I watched my dad in a similar spot of he never got a great shot with a Penske or Hendrick or Gibbs race team. He was around the sport forever, but he never had an amazing shot, a very fortunate shot like I had with an awesome team. But he just worked his butt off, and always persevered and made the best of situations. And he was a little bit older by the time he got into NASCAR, so that kind of hurt him. But I've been very, very fortunate, and it does make you, appreciate the people that have helped you out along the way to get to where you're at. It really makes you thankful for everyone who stepped in and supported you along the way.
I don't remember the year when his wheel came off at Atlanta.
That was.
He was in the '93 Amoco car for Bill Davis.
That had to have been 01. It was
It was around there for sure, because it was early in my time. Out here. Have you ever talked to him about it?
A little bit.
He's a quiet dude.
My dad is a very quiet guy, so I've talked to him a little bit about it. He doesn't really like to reminisce about past things. Like, he's just not really is that kind of person. He's just living in the here and now. But I've talked a little bit about him, and really the only thing he says is like, Yeah, our car was pretty good that day. That's all he
Come on.
says.
They
Like,
were running away with that thing.
he was waxing all day.
Dominating that thing.
Yeah. And so when I won Atlanta last year in March, that was the 20th anniversary of that race. So it was in
No
2001.
way.
And it was the 20th anniversary. And Dad texted me that day. He said, "Hey, how about you win one for me for the 20-year anniversary of when my wheel came off
And
at
then
Atlanta?"
you did it.
Yeah.
I didn't know this story. That's awesome.
Solar cycles are crazy every 20 years or something, but that was pretty neat. It was cool.
He, like, I do remember trying my damnedest to pull something out of your dad, like interviewing him. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just not his deal.
Yeah, he's a quiet guy. He did Dale Jr.'s podcast one time, and he opened up pretty good, and talking about his dad, where he came from racing in Ohio. So that was cool. Some of those stories I'd never heard. Kind of how Dad started in these, started in go-karts and how he got his first go-kart. And once you get Dad to open up, he's like an onion. You got to peel back some of the layers, and you finally you get something out of him, and it's always pretty good stuff.
So one thing that Ryan Blaney and I have in common is we love us some damn country music. All right, you got all kind of buddies in Nashville. Let's start with Cole. All right, you real close with Cole Swindell.
Yeah.
How'd y'all get to know each other, and how has the friendship evolved?
Yeah, so that's a funny story of me and Cole. He's a great guy, one of the nicest people I've ever met, and it's awesome to see him have success. So he was at a race in Kansas in like 2016. I was a rookie in the Cup Series, and I'm walking back to the bus after the race, and he's just walking down pit road wearing my shirt. He was like, "Ryan, man, I'm a big fan. Can I get a picture with you?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, you can." Like, I'm a big fan of you too. So that's just randomly how we met, and it's just evolved, from there.
What's your favorite song?
Of Cole's?
Yeah.
I mean, Dad's old numbers,
I can't listen to it.
that hits pretty hard.
He called me. So I lost my daddy too young. And that's how he and I became friends, is losing our fathers way too early.
Yeah.
And he sent me that song, and he called me and he goes, "Listen, You Should Be Here is great. That's a phenomenal song."
Yeah.
He goes, "This one, it's going to hurt you. It's going to wound you, dude."
Yeah.
And oh my Lord, did it wound me.
It's a tough song to listen to, but it just shows, the heart that Cole and all those people they put in, especially that song. I mean, when you lose a father too soon or a family member too soon, and to sit down and write about it like he did, and those feelings, that song gets me every time, and that's my favorite one of his.
Same here, and I love it, and I love him, and I'm so grateful for your time. I know we got to let you run, so thank you, brother. You are the best.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Good to see you.